got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
Welcome back to a new video. We're back here in Idaho getting ready to load and go over to Salt Lake City. So I'd say I think it's a $1,300 load. We're going 350 miles. So it is what it is. These rates are just kind of down, but we're going over here to door 11. Usually this place is great, but this morning I walked in and they were having a mix-up with somebody's load, and then another guy had his count off or something. It was just kind of weird. So the trucking gods must not be super thrilled this morning. But anyway, like I said, we're going to door 11. Get loaded early. This is a 2:30 appointment. It is 11 a.m. right now. But as usual, they put me right on a door. I know I've filmed some of this before, but it's fairly tight in here. So the best way I've found to do this, if you have room, zip right in here just like this, and then 45 out. Hopefully with your trailer tires on the line, then you can back up in like 2 shots. But I sat out all last week because rates were so low. I just stayed home, cleaned the truck up, played with the wife and kids, and had a good time. But it's time to go make some money. Let's see if we can do this. That up. Sure seems like more than 25,000 pounds, but there it is. We're going to Salt Lake. All right, that was our typical hour and a half at the shipper. Sure is more than 25,000 pounds, I guarantee that. So we're gonna slide up the road and get a weight ticket, and we'll go from there. All right, so here's the first scale ticket. What you're looking for is 34,000, 34,000, and 12,000. So for a total of 80,000. So while I'm underweight, I'm over on my axle. So what you do is you slide your tandems. In this case, we're going to slide them back to put weight on the drive axles because they got a lot of room there. Just got to be careful that you don't go over on your steer axle, or you end up having to slide your fifth wheel plate. So here's our second weigh, and we are 32,000 on the drives, 31 on the trailer, and 12,040. I've got a full tank of fuel. I'm gonna burn 40 pounds of gas here, just this first little grade out of Boise. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and slide it one more notch though, just to be safe, and then we'll get out of here.
Sharp left.
Reporting from the Idaho Food Bank. We have, want to show you guys something. Something popped up at home. I need to come home. So, I got to get out of Salt Lake, basically. And I need to be home here no later than tomorrow. So I'll show you what I'm looking at. So the Salt Lake board doesn't look horrible for today. But there's only this one load going to Idaho Falls that's even remotely close to the direction of home. And it's just north of here. And they want to pay $550 and it delivers tomorrow. So I did some math. I'll show you this math. So round trip, what we'd have if we go to Idaho Falls is 900 miles. The net, the gross for the trip would be $1,850. That equals $2.05 a mile. Don't worry about this minus 135 yet. If I just turn and burn from Salt Lake, I'm 760 miles round trip, $1,300 gross. That's $1.70 a mile. So that's not good either. Then I went over here to our spreadsheet and I looked at our running costs. We're going to use the 75 and hope that we're up around 100, but this green one was last year, so that's the only reason it's green. But this is our running costs with fuel and without fuel. So we're doing it with fuel because I obviously paid for all the fuel to fill the truck. So $2.20 a mile. So if we come down here, if I do this math, 205 versus $1.70, like what are we gonna lose? We're establishing that we're losing money on the trip. So I'm gonna lose 15 cents a mile on Idaho Falls. I'm going to lose 50 cents a mile if I round trip it. But you need to get deeper than that because this looks like I need to do Idaho Falls. So like I said, I'll lose a total of $380 if I go home, lose $135 if I run the Idaho Falls load, but the Idaho Falls load costs me a day. So the difference there is $245. So the question is $245 worth a day? Is it worth sitting in the truck? Because it's only like 200 miles up there. So I'll be there in no time, and then I'll have to wait all day and get unloaded in the morning and then have to drive home in the morning. I've been to Idaho Falls several times, so I've never once got a load from Idaho Falls towards Boise. Not saying it wouldn't happen, but I'm just saying it hasn't yet. So we're working on probability. Is $245 worth it? I'm inclined to just go home and eat the 380. We're still up for the month as far as our rate per mile goes. So I'm back over to this page on my spreadsheet, and this is today's load, that we're unloading. So, and I just put it in as a deadhead. So here is our average RPM for the month is 280. So, and we know we'll go back over here to our estimated costs is 220. So we're still up, still making money. Not making as much as we want to, but with these rates and stuff like they are, this is kind of my deciding factor. I'll be able to go next week, and I won't have to do a round trip. I won't have to come right home, so I can do the best load and hopefully drive that a little bit higher. The 355 that's for the year. So we're way behind, but compared to what we've been doing on other months, there's $3 and there's $5 a mile. But we can, we've got time to kind of fix this. We just got to be aware. So like I was saying, just knowing your numbers, putting it down, for some people, Idaho Falls might be worthwhile to lose the least amount of money as possible. You're sacrificing your time to do that. For me, in this example, because I need to be somewhere, that's not worth it to me. That 240, it's losing 245 less dollars. Like, that's, it sucks. It was a mistake. And, like I said, we're brand new to trucking. We're, technically we're still in our first year. So until April comes around, that's when that'll be a year since our first load. And even then I only ran one load in April, and then like 2 in May, and then I really took off in June. So I'm not perfect. I'm making mistakes out here. I just want to show you guys kind of how to be aware of how to identify the bleeding and how to make it stop. In this example for me, I'm just going to go home and stop the bleeding. We'll take care of what we need to take care of at home, and then I'll go out and I'll try to make up for it. But yeah, this is important. This is what keeps you in business, and knowing these numbers is huge. And it's, you can safety up, and if you know your running costs are, say, $2 a mile, and you never book a load below $2 a mile, you're going to make money. And that's the obvious answer. This is an extenuating circumstance, and I just kind of wanted to walk you through my thought process. And it might be wrong. I'm not claiming that I know everything out here, but it's, to me, with what I see here, I'm gonna take the loss and get home to my wife and kids, and then we'll start out next week and try again. All right, so we just got our billing done. I use that cam scanner app. It's pretty handy. And we are getting ready to get out of here. There's the food bank over there. Down here by Salt Lake, this is kind of interesting stuff. They back in the fur trade era, Jim Bridger and some of those guys came down and quote unquote discovered Salt Lake, but they were wintering with some of the natives in the area, and that the Salt Lake was salty, and they thought that it might be like an inlet of the Pacific Ocean. And one winter, Jim Bridger made a canoe and rowed it all the way around the perimeter of the Great Salt Lake, thinking that he's trying to find the inlet or the outlet, and he never found it. So they realized it was just a lake at that point. But kind of interesting. It's wild to think about how little they knew about the continent back then, to think that Salt Lake City could have been the Pacific Ocean. Anyway, we better get ready for this port of entry. Myself, but my speedometer has worked all day yesterday and all day today so far. So I gotta swap out that tack. I hate that black. But here we go.